Hello guys, my name is Shivam, and in this video, we will talk about uh, developing web applications using Java. So, before going on that, we will first discuss a little bit about background story. So, the project Java is first created as project by James Gosling in year 1991, and after in year 1995, it is then renamed as Java 1.0. So why the Java is created? Because it has a C-like notations. It is uniform and simple, and it is general purpose. So the edge that Java provides over C language are it is a true object-oriented language, and we have to write once, and we can run it on everywhere. So the original issue with C programming language is that to run it, we have to compile it on operating system. But when we compile the C language programs, it will set according to the internal structure of the operating system on which it is compiled. So for example, if I want to run a C program compiled on Linux, on Windows on Mac, I cannot simply run that program because it will set according to internal structure of Linux. So as you can see that we are running the same program on three different operating systems. But after the compilation, they will be set accordingly to the internal structure of their operating system on which they are compiled. So to solve this, Java came up with the idea to add a layer over the operating system over which the compilation of program happens. So this layer is called JVM, Java Virtual Machine. So as you can see that we can compile a program on any operating system and we can run it on any operating system. So for example, if I compile my program on Linux and I want to run it on Windows or Mac, I can do that because uh, the our program is basically compiled on Java Virtual Machine layer, which is same for all operating system. So this makes a Java a platform independent language. So as you can see, the Java is everywhere. Java, we have Java in web applications. We can use Java for building Android apps, for creating a software tools, and for creating a different web services. So there are various supports for Java. For example, there are various IDEs like IntelliJ, NetBeans, Eclipse, and VS Code. Java EE is used to create industry level software tools, and Spring is one of the most popular Java framework. It is used for creating industry-level web services. Android Studio is used for creating a mobile application which is based on Java. JavaFX it is used to create standalone applications, and JAX-RX is used to create in several APIs. For example, the RESTful APIs or SOAP. Although we don't see SOAP API frequently because it is a bit old, so there are several advantages of using Java. It has great community, numerous articles, amazing tutorials, and everything you need you can easily search on internet. So that's all. Thanks for watching. So hello guys, my name is Shivam, and today we will discuss further in the Java web development. So like Java web development consists of two parts, that is JSP and servlet. But in this video we will discuss JSP. So what is JSP? It is an extension of serverlet technology, and it is a simplifying way of delivering dynamic web content. So like it is like using your Java code in HTML so that we can create dynamic components in dynamic components and all. So it promotes the using of reuse of existing Java components. So because we can simply call our Java components using JSP in HTML instead of writing separate code. So the classes and interfaces specific to JSP are servlet.jsp and servlet.jsp.tag extension. So there are five key components like directive actions, scriptlet, tag library components, and in this video we will discuss them one by one. So, for example, I have created from 5 different sections. So, first one is expression element. So, expression element is used to print anything uh, on our web page or Tomcat console. So, for example, if I want to print 25, so I can simply write this and run Tomcat server. So, for running JSP, you need to set up a project and Tomcat, which you can see on various YouTube videos. So, as you can see, 25 is printed, and we can also perform uh, you can also pass it expressions, so it will give us the result of that expression. So I have given 2 into 5. So after running that, it will give us 10 as a result. So I can also print the value of variable. For example, I have declared my variable using a declaration element, and if I want to print that, I can use expression element. So if I run this, see, it will give me 10 as a result. So let's move on to the next. So is a scriptlet element. So if a scriptlet element is also used to print information on the pages. So this, for example, uh, if I want to print a 0 to 9 number on a web page, so I can simply use scriptlet element. So for example, to, to do that, I have first created a for loop. For example, I is equal to 9, I is less than 10, I plus plus. And for printing the number, you can use out.print method. So we are giving the break so that there is a space included between them. After that, we can mention the number. So if I run this on Tomcat, it will give me like a 0 to 9 elements. So that's all for scriptlet elements. So let's talk about JSP declaration element. So it is the function of this element is to contain the declaration of an element or a function. So for example, if I want to declare an element using declaration element, I can simply do that and the element is declared. You can also perform declaration using a scriptlet element, for example. But here, using scriptlet program, there is a one one problem. So, for example, if I mention access specifier in declaration, it will give us error because it is not valid to provide access modifier in the scripted element. So that's why we are using declaration element whenever we require to declare a variable or a function. So for directive element, it gives us a meta information about the web page. So like for example, if I copy and paste this, so like it includes percentage at the rate, and it specifies what page language is, what content it's contain, and character set it has, and page encoding it has. So these are the directive elements. So last one is a comment element. So it is used for commenting out your JSP element. So the syntax for it is a different. So for example, if I have created an element 33 and now I run the template. Oh sorry, somewhere it might have occurred. Yeah. Now if we run it, yeah, it is giving us 33 as an element. And if I want to like comment it out, so I can simply do that. See, it is already by default auto completed. So if I run this on Tomcat, see the 33 are not visible. So basically the JS comment element is to comment the JSP element also. And yeah, that's all. So these five elements are basic building blocks of JSP. So we can use them for including our Java code in our HTML and providing a dynamic web content. So that's all for video. Thanks for watching. Hello guys, my name is Shivam and today we will discuss about servlet. So what are servlet? So servlet are the classes that dynamically process or construct responses. So it mainly generate HTML pages in response to a request. So it may also send the data in a form like XML serialized Java object, and it run in servlet container and then have access to the services, several services. In an application, the processing of each request will be normally done by a different servlet. So, for example, for searching a catalog, we need a servlet. For checkout, we require a different servlet. So, the clients of the servlets that the client means that provide the request. So, these are browser, applet, and Java applications. So, the servlet life cycle it's mentioned. So, like how the servlet works in a web application. So, first it create a thread pool. So, how many threads are available for providing services to a request. So, after that, the servlet is initiated by init method. After that, it allocate a request to a thread. So, what a thread should expect to perform. So after that, it will block all further requests until active threads are available. So it will block all the requests unless or until an active thread is available in the thread pool. So after the thread performs in action, they are now become available and they can further process blocked request. So after it performs all its function, then it is time to terminate the thread. So for terminating thread pool, we call a destroy method, and after that, uh, by calling the destroy method, the servlet will terminate automatically, and in this way, the servlet work in a web browser. So for understanding, we have taken uh, three files. First one is a controller.java. So it will contain our logic. So and the login.jsp. So it contain our forms. So it is required. It is provide us an interface to login and member area.jsp. So it will, if a person, for example, log in successfully, then it will give display the message that user has logged in successfully. So we are creating a simple application for understanding this servlet. So here we have created a form. So for example, form action is a request.get context part to get the base URL on which the Tomcat is running, and after that we have provided an input field for entering password and username, and after that, to specify the type of action we are performing, we have specified a hidden field, and after that we have provided submit button. So our servlet is controller.jsp. So web.servlet specify the URL on which it is running. So it is running on slash controller. So it has two methods, do post and do get. But since our form will provide pass the information to servlet, we are using do post method. So like uh, we will then start with writing our code. So for getting username, we use request dot get parameter. So we have provided a key as a name in the input form, as you can see, name. So we need to mention that here also. And for getting password, some error has occurred. So undefined for the controller, something we are missing something dot. My mistake. Sorry. Equal to request dot get. So for getting password, we are using request dot get parameter. Uh, Password. I guess I have given. Yeah. So to check if the username and password correct or not, we compare it using equals. So if it is Shivam and equals love, then we will specify request dot get session dot invalid. So whenever a user login to a website, a session is created for him or her. So like we are doing that exactly. So session is a great way of identifying which user has logged in or which user is logged out. So by using request.get session, we are getting the session, and invalidate function is used to remove a session which is already present so that we can create a new session from scratch. So HTTP session new session is used to create a new session. So request.get session will give us a new session. So after that, new session, new session, sorry. So to provide an interval after which time the our session should expire. we use set max active inactive interval. So like after 0.3 seconds, it will expire. So we have done with session, but now we want to like display the name of a person which have logged in into our member area.jsp. So we need to pass that information to cookie. Uh, so for creating a cookie, we use cookie data type and a new cookie. We are providing the key to which our value will be attached. So, and after that, we have to attach our cookie to response object so that it will be passed from index uh, login.jsp to area.jsp. And after that, we need to handle the situation in which, like, if a person is logged in successfully, then we will redirect them to member area because the log after the login, the username and session area will be displayed there. So we have handled this situation, but we need to also handle the situation in case the person is unable to log in. So we need to redirect them back to login.js. So in controller, we have handled the situation. Now in member area, as soon as the user type the valid information, it will be redirected to a member area.jsp. So it will display member area. We need to display username and session ID also. So we are writing for code for that. So we are declaring a key array. So request dot get cookie will give us array of cookies. So after that, we need to check if the cookies array contain any cookie or not, or whether it is empty or not. If it is not empty, then we can simply write uh, for loop for accessing each cookie, and to get a cookie, we specify cookie dot get name, check if a particular cookie is present or not. So here we are searching for a cookie with a name username, and if it is present, then we need to store the value of that in username. So to get value of particular key, get value function is used. Some error has occurred correctly. See, it is a typo, sim- simple typo. And to get a user ID, okay, dot get user ID not sorry for getting a session. We are using dot get name equals the session ID, and after that session ID cookie dot get. And one more thing I need to uh, mention, forgot to mention that we need to include all of this in a scripted element, because all of this is a Java code. So like we cannot simply run our Java code in JSP. We need to mention our Java code in scriptlet or in expression element. So after that, it is complete. So now we want to print our username and our session ID. So all of these are handled. So we need to run our template server. Okay, we'll restart. It will take some time. Yeah, as you can see, we are getting three elements. And if I mention wrong credentials, for example, I mean enter Shivam in password as well, then it will basically give us an error. 1 minute. As you can see, we forgot to mention semicolon there. So as you can see, and the one more error is there. Insert. Okay, like we have. Oh, sorry. I need to add C username. By mistake, I have added our JSP file. So that's why it is not working. As you can see, it will redirect us back to our uh, PHP file if I enter wrong credentials, and if I enter right credentials, for example, password as love, so like it will redirect it to our member area. As you can see, we are getting the name and this is the session ID. So that's it for the video, and thanks for watching.